you're recording now.
Okay.
Okay, so you have just gotten back after saving Peel from pretty much sure destruction, just of him bleeding out, of him losing his whole arm, and it really shook you up. And not even just that, the fact that you couldn't save everybody in either place really, and you couldn't save Peel completely is really weighing you down. And at the moment, you are standing in the College of Windborn with just basically everybody, just kind of trying to take it all in, trying to process for a moment. I imagine you've been pretty quiet. I mean, Morgan and Caldwell are there, and Arvin and Nerrit, and obviously Peel is there too. But like, I imagine you're kind of a little bit cut off from the group at this point in time. You're kind of just kind of watching it happen, watching Peel start to be healed. People are tending to Nara, making sure he's okay as well, and you're just kind of thinking about it all. And as you are thinking about it, you feel like you need some time to yourself. You feel as though it would be too much to remain in this group of people. And so you start walking away from the College of Windborn, and everyone is really quite occupied with, everything that's going on. No one really notices you leave, even though as tall as you are. I mean, I imagine people notice, but they just kind of
Yeah,
let you go.
but with how I was feeling, I feel like my presence was small
Yeah. Also, I don't
in a
know why
sense.
Ghost is in group two all of a sudden. What was with that?
What?
I'm gonna put him back.
What the fuck? Maybe I did.
I
I don't
don't
know what
I don't
happened.
know what the deal was with that. But yeah, you start to walk away from this crowd, and you're just kind of wandering the streets of Windborn, just kind of thinking and processing all that's happened and worrying about Lynn and about, if that figure is going to come back through another rift and deal more damage to Windborn, or what it means that there's now like some sort of dimensional tear above Carnifex, like what that means for the future and what Torrent's plan and what all this virtue stuff means. You're really just giving it a lot of thought. And as you approach the gates of Windborn, you kind of walk towards the edge of town. At this point, you see a little bench that you hadn't noticed before, at kind of to the left of the gates exiting Windborn, and you see this kind of stocky, blonde-haired dude just kind of sitting there on the bench, and on his face you can see he looks like he's very scarred. He looks tough and like he has been through a lot, but he looks like a nice guy. And he kind of waves to you and basically beckons you over. He kind of, it seems like he sees how you're feeling, and beckons you over. And yeah, I think we'll go from that point for you.
Um, yeah. What's up?
Hi there. It's been quite some time, I think, and it's time that you and I had a chat.
Like, it. I. I don't.
I i realize that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and that you probably don't recognize me, and yeah, there's that whole thing.
Yeah, don't at all.
There's no really great way to put this. I I'm you.
Huh?
I'm you. At least I'm a form of you. I'm a splinter of your personality, I guess. I'm Bellaman,
You okay? I'm about to ask that.
and
How
I don't I don't know exactly how I'm here.
cool?
I just am, and I know that it's probably not it's not really very. You're kind of just gonna have to take my word for it that I am you. It's just
I mean, you look familiar because
right.
have I seen him at all?
You have
In my
not seen him
entire-
at all.
I've never.
I mean,
Does he look
in all of your
familiar?
memories, you have just seen it from a first person
That's
perspective. You've
fair.
never seen like a
I'm
mirror in
assuming
your
I've seen like
memories.
his arms though,
Yeah, his
so I've probably
arms.
seen the
Yeah, you
stuff
can
he's
notice
wearing.
hands, arms, what he's wearing. Yeah, so it's probably a bit familiar. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, now that you say it, something's something's familiar about you.
Well, at least there's that. I'm glad that we have that at least, and you can recognize me and all of that. I'm really sorry that I've gone this way and that all of this stuff has happened to I guess to us. And there's not a whole lot I can do now. Uh-oh. Heaters came on. I don't know if you can hear that. We might have to wait until the heater kicks off.
I might.
In this time where the heater is on, do you have any questions so far? I know it's a lot. Uh,
Woo! You're like, I am you. I'm like, fucking okay. It's gonna be like this. Cool.
yeah.
Okay. I knew this session was gonna be a lot, but damn, right off the bat.
Yeah. Uh, doesn't look like my audio is actually too bad.
Okay, I could hear it a little bit. It wasn't like excessive. It was just faint.
Okay. Well, but let's hope it's okay on the audio on the OBS
Okay.
then too, because I have a noise suppression. It should be okay.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Um, so Dare, I know that's your new name now, and there's not really a good reason you came by. You just came up with it yourself, and that's okay. That's a
Yeah.
perfectly you can name yourself. I, I guess that's kind of silly to bring up. Um, shoot. I need to help you remember, I guess. And I need to help you remember that it wasn't always like this. And there's a lot that I can't tell you yet, and there's a lot that I hopefully this connection remains stable. I don't know how I'm existing, frankly. I don't know how I'm I don't know how I'm here.
Um, I I honestly don't know either.
Yeah, it's it's
It's
a
the past couple hours have just been confusing in general, so
I realize that. That's oh
yeah.
it has started then, yeah?
Huh?
Oh no. Shoot. I, there's I know of specific events that are kind of happening. I don't know how to really explain it to you, but I get the sense that me and you have done this song and dance before. That this isn't really the first time that all this has happened. I don't. I just have a feeling, and I don't understand, but it makes sense to me that this is not the first time that we've been existing in this fashion.
Man,
I'm going off right now, and
woo,
yeah,
it's been a long day.
I realize that I probably has the shoot.
Okay.
Is Peel safe?
Feel safe, he has no arm.
Okay, well that there's one difference, I guess.
He had an arm. Cool. Sick.
Yeah, he did. I want to try something to help you. I think I can. We remember Enoch now, right? Like Enoch's a thing in this
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I know
Okay,
Enoch. Yeah.
I'm gonna
It's crazy.
I'm gonna try to do it. What he does, real quick. If let me. can I see uh the stone you got in your head? Just let me
I like
touch that real quick.
I'll sit down and you can.
Yeah, you're kind of tall. We're kind of tall,
I I get that. You're kind of short.
right? And he reaches out and touches the that stone, that precious gem you have in your forehead, and instantly you feel yourself fall and collapse. And it seems like he tries to catch you, but you're very like you're large, man, and he tries to catch you, does his best at that, but you hit the ground and pass out. And when you wake up, you hear this. You hear the clattering of what sounds like just glass breaking, and you hear a very abrupt scream. It's like someone screamed, but then immediately just had the wind knocked out of them. And you find yourself standing in what you remember to be Starfell. You're standing outside of a gazebo. And as you turn around, you just barely catch a glimpse of Neret, who is apparently there with you, before you feel this awful sharp pain in the back of your skull, and you hear this awful noise just course through your head and your mind, and it feels like it's eliminating any semblance of rational thought or memory that you had. But you realize now that this is what erased your memories, this feeling, this sound, this uh, enveloping noise that just fills your whole head. This is what kind of broke you. And I have an audio for that.
No, no, you
I
don't.
totally,
It got deleted
totally
somehow. It's
do.
crazy.
But this is what you hear.
Mm, terrified.
It's in Tendrils.
Oh, that's even. Hey,
Are you good, man?
yeah, it's just that's terrifying. I
Okay,
hate it.
good, good. And very gradually, you feel this sound pass over you. It slowly gets less and less constant, and eventually it fades out of your head. And this time, you do kind of remember why you're here. You were sent, on a mission to explore Starfell, and that it was a set of ruins that just had a lot of alter energy. And you realize now that you're not Dare at the moment. You're Bellamin. You can see your hands, and at this point, you probably make sure that you're Bellamin. Like you can feel like actual human hair. You notice your clothes are the same as the person you were just talking to before you blacked out. And now, standing behind you, you see this statue of Neret. You see it's just a frozen person, just into stone.
Um, I go up to him. I'm like, I'm just like speechless. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah. Uh, as you get
I just,
closer, you notice that his glasses are lying on the ground, and in front of him, in front of the glasses, is this little box. This little looks like a ring box that's sitting in the middle of the gazebo.
um, I pick up his glasses.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, just kind of holding on those. And
As
go
you
over.
as you pick
Oh,
up the glasses, this strange thing happens. It's like you reach and you pick up the glasses, but then immediately they're back on the ground and you're back to where you were before you started picking up the glasses. It's like you're playing through the memory, but you didn't play through the memory right, so it didn't actually happen. It erases it from happening.
okay. Ooh. Um, I go for the ring box this time.
Same sort of thing happens. It's like your hand grabs around it, you have it, and then it's like you lag right back to where you were.
Fucking lag. Okay. Okay.
As you're standing there, as you're kind of getting your bearings in this, what you perceive as a dream world, a dream of a memory that you have some control over, you hear outside this terrible, haunting singing. You hear less outside chanting and singing.
Okay,
And on
less.
top of that, you can hear the flap of thousands of leathery wings in the sky above you. And additionally, you can hear very close by it sounds like something is ripping into something else. Something is feasting, something is eating.
Um, kind of like fucking less.
Yeah.
I look over like in the direction of the fucking eating.
As you turn and look that way, you can see what looks like you can't even really tell what is being eaten, but this batling is just hunched over this mass of flesh that appears to be it looks like it's still moving and it has a vaguely humanoid form and you can see like it's still alive and it is still trying to remain alive while being eaten, but it doesn't last very much longer and the batling finishes up and flaps into the sky.
Oh, that's terrifying and disgusting. Um, I'm gonna go try to lift Narret.
Okay. As you go up to Nerit, you it feels like something kind of takes over your own body. Like it feels right what's happening, but it wasn't the action that you really intended to happen. You try to pick him up, but instead of picking him up, you it looks like you try to you kind of just wrap your arms around him in a hug. And it seems weird at the time, but you realize that when you had your memories erased, he was the only thing that you remembered at that current time. You remember that at that moment your mind was blank. And I mean blank. You didn't know who you were, you didn't know where you were, you didn't know what was happening. All you remember is just his face and you see the statue of him and think, I is this it? Is this him? And nothing happens. He doesn't come back. He doesn't stop being stone. Nothing happens.
I can't see what there's goosebumps happening.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah. It's getting crazy rays for
Um,
me.
well, that's uh, I don't even know what to do in this situation.
Yeah.
This mind's blank. My
Well,
mind's
current
blank.
you isn't. You realize
Current me,
that
yeah.
in that memory it was. Yeah.
Like his mind's blank. It freaking set me back if I did the wrong thing. Is I'm just gonna turn around and like look around to see what I see completely.
As you look around, you notice Starfell. You realize that it's kind of set out before you very similarly to as it was when you visited it the second time, as when you visited it with the new, Raven's Mantle crew, you, Azura, Lawrence, and Ghost. But there are very few changes. You notice like very small things like it doesn't seem like Les is on that swing set any longer. It doesn't seem like the houses have been really opened. That bar, that tavern that was in the center of town looks a little bit better than it did before you guys kind of went in there and checked it out. And all over town, you can see these corpses. You can see just like dead things. And it's really weird because you can detect that they're humanoid, but like as soon as you look at their faces, it's like your brain doesn't get it. Your brain doesn't understand that it's seeing humans, even though there are human facial features. You don't have facial recognition anymore. It's like
Man,
even though you're playing through this memory, you still don't properly remember everything, right?
this is oh um um man, you fully stumped me. Just so you know,
That's good.
because like I don't want to leave near it, but I don't know what the fuck to do. Um,
As you're sitting there pondering what's happening, and as I mean, Dare's stumped too. I mean, like he's living through what someone else did, and he doesn't know really what that person did. I mean, even though it was him, right? You hear this voice in your head, and it's the voice of it's your voice, but it's not technically you. It's not you, like a thought in your head. It's definitely your voice coming from somewhere else in your head. And it says, just remember, do do what got you here now. I don't know how it is in this version, but do what got you to where you are now. I don't know if this is getting through to you or not, and I realize you probably can't respond, but
I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear me.
oh, sweet. Okay, so this is working as I
Cool.
thought it would. Perfect. Not sure how. You're still like very much on the floor here, but yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
It's like I'm seeing it sorta. I don't know. But yeah, I I saw you trying some stuff and you didn't look like you were getting it.
Not at all. Um, I'm all all he know. I'm gonna say this out loud as Dare.
Okay.
All Bellman, I'm assuming this is Bellman. All Bellman knows is narrate, but I feel like he needs to run away.
Right. I mean, well, in my let's call it reality, I guess, or version of my experience is we went into Windborn directly after this. We went to Windborn, and this this college picked us up a little bit, and we taught for a really long time actually, um, and it was very surprising that they even kind of let us in. But yeah. Oh shoot, I screwed up one detail here. You would be Dare in this instance, but Dare as his memories wiped. This would be after you became a bear person.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. That makes it make more sense.
I was
Make
thinking that, but you were the DM and I didn't say anything.
yeah, no, that's my bad. Yeah, when you went into Starfell for the first time, you were a bear
Yeah.
person. You were still Bellamin as a bear person.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I had Bellman's like brain,
Yeah,
but bare body.
you were Bellamin bear.
I was
Yes,
Bella Bear.
Bella bear. Yeah.
Bella Bear.
Bellman button.
Mm-hmm.
Bella Bear. What age?
Yes.
um. Okay. Um.
You're right. That voice is very taxing.
Yeah. Welcome to the group, man. Welcome to the group, man. You just gotta kind of do weird things with your throat the whole time, and it kind of works out.
Yep.
Kind of. I don't know.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. um. I'm I'm just gonna start running out of Starfell.
Okay. So as you run out of Starfell, you kind of just head down the path. I'm assuming path through
Hmm.
town towards the exit. Yeah, away from the
Yep.
lake.
Yep. Away from
So
the lake.
as you do that, it feels like the memory takes over from that point. It feels like it basically plays itself out. Like you chose what actually did happen. Your legs start moving on their own. You take little shortcuts that you somehow know. You, like, for some reason, you go around the tavern instead of heading on the main road to it. It almost like seemed like to avoid detection by things that you've seen previous you don't really know. And as you exit, as you start to make your way towards this black fog that encases the outer edge, it feels like you've done it before. It At this instance, it feels like you've made this same run a lot of times. It feels like the most intense deja vu is that I just did this. I just ran out of Starfell for like the umpteenth time. What is the deal with that, right? And as you do, you know something is about to happen. You know that something goes wrong exactly at this point in time. And you just have that second of realization to anticipate it as you feel this, what you imagine to be a battling, just grab onto like the nape of your neck, and it just starts biting down and clawing with its wings and just beating the hell out of you.
That's fun. Um. So I'm. Do I have the Raven's Blade then,
Yes,
or the Blade of the Ravens, whatever
you
it's
have the
called?
Raven's Blade at the moment.
Okay. And I'm a fighter. I currently have Bellman's sheet up, so it's pretty much the same, except I'm
Yeah, we're gonna roll with the
nine
same
foot
stuff, sort of.
9 foot tall compared to like 4 foot
Yeah,
or 5 foot like two. What is
yeah. I mean,
5'10" probably.
you'd still be 9 foot in this one, I believe. Yeah, in this map,
Okay,
you'd
so
still
I'm
be.
9 foot. Okay, cool. Um, can I like grab back and try to push it off or something?
Sure. Make a strength contest.
First roll. Um, okay. It's a regular strength save. Am I rolling with Bellman stats?
Do you have Bellman stats?
Yeah, I have his character sheet up right
If
now
you could,
from.
I think that would be pretty good because I think the only difference would be the height. Really, this and plus you're working through a memory, so it's all going to play out regardless. But yes, I think we'll roll with that.
18.
18. So as you do this, you it you go to rip it off, and you know you have the strength to get this thing off of you, but it's like your hand phases through it, and you look down and you realize that your hand is still at your side, and you're still being just bitten to hell by this thing. but like in your head, you've done it. You've ripped the thing off, but it's still, you still feel the pain of it right now at this instant. And then you feel another one bite at your leg. You feel another one hit you, and it just sends you to the ground with the force that it just comes at you with. And you manage to kick this one off for a second, but three more start to attach themselves to you, and you feel yourself start to lose consciousness. Can you go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw?
19.
19. Dang.
I rolled a
So
14 plus 5.
good stuff. So as you're lying there in just this like huge kind of pit of spider battlings at the moment, you feel yourself starting to lose consciousness, but you just hang on and you cut up and you just obliterate like 10 of them, and you try to stand up again, and it's, you feel your blade being ripped away from you, and you just start punching the hell out of these things, trying to remain,
Claws.
alive, and not, you trying to get out. And this whole time as well, as soon as you get one foot up, you try to start crawling your way out of Starfell. And eventually you get to this place in the fog where you can see light start. And as you get there, you can feel uh, the bats are starting to burn like off of you. As soon as you start touching this light, you feel that like bubbling of their skin next to yours, and you hear this sizzling sound and this awful smell of burning flesh, and this terrible shrieking of these creatures. And eventually you make it through, and you're standing on the other side, and just, you can see these things just hurling themselves like into the sun, and they immediately just kind of crisp up. But you've made it out.
That was great.
Thanks.
Fucking fantastic. Okay. um, so I'm probably fucking hurt right now, aren't I?
Yeah, you feel awful.
Feel awful. Full awful.
Falafel.
Hey, that's fitting. I never took a long rest after that bear fight, so I'm at 3 hit
Yeah, I mean,
points.
we can probably roll with those. I'll be tracking your hit points for this, just so we don't have to, deal with that.
Yeah, it's just
So,
I never took a long rest after fighting that bear that one
mhm,
time. I'm
yeah,
still at 3 hit points, which makes sense.
yeah, yeah. I don't know
Just
about
getting
quite three hit, but I'll put you at 15 for the time being.
okay. I'm like 3 hit points kind of makes sense. She's probably
It
pretty
does.
low.
But yeah, you're cut up all to hell, and in front of you you can see just kind of the gorge opening up. And what would it be? I need to look at the map real quick. My apologies.
Are you good?
Um,
God, dude, I was fucking mind blown that whole time.
thank
That
you.
fucking Starfell shit. God damn.
So to the left of you, which would be north, you can see just barely. You can make out the just kind of the outline of Windborn, and it would be to your right. You can see what you recognize now as the mountain range, kind of close to Lynn. You realize that Lynn is that way. And directly behind you to your left, you see Lamantria, which is a place you don't really remember in
Yeah.
your current mental state, but for some reason you do remember it now. You remember that it's a place full of dwarves, and you seemingly remember that you had some sort of life there. You don't understand why, but it feels as though you have a connection to that place. And your body starts doing that thing again where you can't really control it, but you realize what's happening is correct. Like you were about to make the movement, but your body did it before you could. You start heading towards Lynn. And you slowly make your way into Lynn, and it takes you just ages. I mean, it's super, super far away and on foot. And as hurt as you are, it takes you probably a couple days in order to make it to Lynn. And in that time, you kind of bandage yourself up a little bit with the stuff that you had from the Raven's Mantle, the very slim preparations you had made for going into Starfell itself.
Yeah.
And, you managed to keep yourself alive. And on the final day, your final kind of hike into Lynn, you um, are attacked by what looks to be more batlings. Only this time, they don't seem like they're being affected by the sun at all. It seems like they've evolved somehow or something has changed, but you just get attacked by this group of batlings. And let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh God. I'm scared. 21.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Well,
Dude,
yeah, you're
Bellman's
going.
so
You're going.
cool.
You're going first.
Bellman, he's a +4 initiative. Can I play
Yeah. God
Bellman?
dang.
Can Dare die and I'll just play Bellman?
Yeah. All
He
right.
has like good stuff.
Go ahead.
How many are there?
There are four.
Roughly
Four.
4. Cool. Um, whoever's closest.
All right.
Raven's blade in their face.
Sounds good.
Oh man, I've been rolling so good until now.
So you have to hit them.
13.
13's gonna not do it. Sorry.
Do I have 2 combat? Extra attack. Sick.
Sweet.
I was checking if I had that or not.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck to play this guy. Hold on.
Or actually, at this point, yeah. No. No. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. It's good.
No. No. I'll resolve it as soon as you attack.
Cool. It 15 plus 8.
Yeah. That's gonna hit.
Yeah.
So as you try to reach out for the Raven's Blade and go to hit, but as you do, you realize you don't have it. You don't have the Raven's Blade, and you actually attack with this dagger that you've stowed away in your pack, and it hits it, and it looks like it hurt it quite a bit because it does that weird thing where it splits. It like twists its form up, and like half of it dies, and it gets smaller, and this each other shriveled look like vestigial like wing grows out of the half that stayed alive.
That's fantastic. Yeah, because didn't the Ravens blade get lost when I got attacked by the bear?
Mm-hmm. By the
Yeah.
bear
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I was like, you said, wait, you wouldn't have that. And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
yep,
And
brain.
that's what happened before too. Like you realize now, as you're being attacked by those batlings, you figured you would be using the Raven's Blade, but as that happened, like you remember now that you used a dagger.
Hmm.
So there are three batlings. Well, still, actually, it'd still be the same amount, but one is very much smaller.
3.5.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, fine. Bonus actions. How many hit points do I have?
You
15?
have 15, yeah. Actually, let's
Okay,
bump it
I'm
up
gonna.
to 25 for the time being because you did bandage yourself up on those couple days.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna use second wind,
Okay.
which means once per short rest, I can use a bonus action to regain 1d10 plus 5 hit points.
All right. Sounds good.
Find a d10. I don't know a lot. Here's one. 2. So I gain 7 hit points.
All right. Sweet. That'd be 32. Very cool. All right. And is that your turn?
Yes, that is my turn.
Okay. So as you do this, you realize it is what Pasteur did. Like you heal yourself. You used that second wind, which is it's comforting to know that you did that, same thing in the past. And then the spider batling attacks you again, and one of them you manage to dodge out of the way, but the one that just got cut up latches onto your shoulder and takes this giant bite out of it for,
Ooh.
let's say, let's see, let me get my dice here. Six HP. And then the other two, let's see. Okay. You managed to fend both of them off as well. Just kind of holding up the dagger as they fly at you and trying to impale them. And they dodge out of the way of that too because they are pretty maneuverable, but you managed to, get them away. Your turn again.
Um, so there's still 3.5 left. The just one of the other ones that flew past me.
Okay.
Can I do anything else? What any other thing except hit?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I hit it again with the dagger.
Okay.
19 plus whatever the dagger hits.
That'll do it. Dagger hits for probably 1d6. So I'll roll that.
1d6. The dagger on my screen says 1d4. I don't know if
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
want to go
okay,
with that or
you can
not.
use that. Let's go for
It's up
1d6
to
for the
you.
time being.
1d6? Okay. Do you want to roll it or you want me to?
You can, since you're attacking.
4 plus whatever you deem I have.
Okay. So yeah, you managed to hit this batling, and actually, like as it comes at you, that little one that is kind of latched onto your shoulder, you manage to just like take the knife and just spike it into its head. But at the same time, you realize that you've actually gone through it. You actually hit yourself with the
Oh,
dagger.
nice.
Like it went through its head and into your shoulder, just the smallest bit, and it's like, ah, that sucks. And it was that same sort of thing too. The motion happened before your mind executed it,
Hmm.
which was it's still super weird. But yeah, you killed that one,
Yeah.
and it's going to be there. Or are you going to use? You have action, two actions, right?
Oh yeah, 2 actions. Whatever the closest one is, I'll
Okay,
try to stab again.
sounds good.
I rolled a 6. I don't know
Yeah,
what.
that's not gonna hit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
These other two come after you. Nope. So, or no, it'll be three. So I'll roll this one.
His AC on my thing is 15. Just so you know,
Mhm.
it's not whatever theirs was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see here. So one hits for 6, and the other hits for 3. As they both kind of charge you at the same time, and it looks like they kind of try and fly past and scratch your eyes with their kind of like clawed wings.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and the third one actually goes for your leg, but you manage to just like curb stomp that thing as it tries to attack you. Just like
Oh
kind
shit.
of get out of here. It's your turn again.
Um, as I curb stomp that one, I'm gonna also reach down as I curb stomp him and like stab him.
Perfect. All right, go ahead and roll with advantage.
12 plus whatever is to hit with the dagger.
Okay. Yes, you do that, and it's weird. Instead of reaching down to stab it, you actually throw the thing, and it impales it into the ground.
Damn. Jesus.
Yeah.
Uh,
You have
should roll
another action?
damage?
No, it is dead.
Cool, it's dead. I'll just roll whatever the closest is to
Okay.
me. This is a fighter. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
keep fighting.
Yes.
That's a 6 again.
I see. Yeah, that one's not gonna hit. All right.
I would
Um.
go throw the dagger. I'm like, shit. As I
Yeah.
didn't have it.
That'd be such a weird feeling having your your body doing its own stuff, but you're still like kind of in control of it.
Yeah, it'd be really fucking weird. I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Um. So as you killed that one, and you kind of chuck an invisible dagger at the other, you're like, it's not gonna happen. Um. You see them actually fly. They start to retreat. They start to just kind of fly up and out of the way, and it's weird because there's like still two of them left. I mean, it's you're still outnumbered, but as they fly away, you realize the reason they're flying away as this giant, like weird insect-like thing comes out of the bushes in front of you, and you haven't seen anything like this before. Um, I get the thing for it. It looks really strange. It has kind of the head of what looks like kind of a dragon, but instead of having a dragon's mouth and teeth and normal facial structure, it has these bug-like mandibles that are clicking and clacking as it moves its way towards you. And on the side of its head, you can see these three eyes, these black eyes with just no white in them at all. And on its head, you see these twisted horns coming off of it and curling, kind of like a ram's horns. And as it's walking, you see it has these tiny little vestigial wings on its back, but it's primarily, it just kind of walks on six legs, like just kind of this giant insect. And it comes at you, and let's go ahead and roll initiative separately for this guy too.
Man,
Ooh, he did good.
18.
He rolled an 18 too. Oh my.
Fuck.
What's your dex? Would that be with your dex? That would be right.
My
Because
my
well, do you have
initiative
a
is plus
bonus to it?
4.
Oh, +4. Oh, okay, so you did add that. Okay. Well, let's just roll again.
Okay. Rollies. Oh yeah, no, they go first.
That's a 19.
Yeah, I rolled them that one.
Dang. Okay. Yeah, this thing basically comes at you, and
I was grabbing the dagger.
yeah,
That was so slow.
it just basically charges at you, and it's like these mandibles fold back into its face, and this weird uh, you basically just see the back of its throat begin to light up, but it doesn't look like how a dragon would normally breathe. You see like this liquid fill like the back of its throat, and then it ignites it. It looks very gross and not right. It looks like it doesn't look right, but this blast of fire just comes at you. And go ahead and roll for
Cool.
that. And it does. Let's see, what is that? Oh shoot, I rolled the wrong die. That would be 19 points of fire damage. And let's see, let me go back to your health here.
How much?
Or actually, go ahead and roll a con save. Or actually, roll a dex save. Sorry, that would make more sense.
22.
22. Okay. We will have you take half of that. So take 9 points of damage. So that'll be the 32. Check that down. You are at 23 HP currently. And this
3.
thing, yeah. Or did I? Oh, I must not have tracked from the batlings attacking. What are you at?
Hold on. You said 9.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 8
8.
on
Okay.
my thing.
Gotcha. I don't
Yeah.
think I tracked for the batlings.
Yeah, I was tracking
Okay.
that because
All
I like
right.
23 better,
Yeah,
but
23 is much better. All right.
much better.
Go ahead on your turn.
Um, I finished grabbing my dagger because I was slow because of the dagger.
Right.
Uh, I'm just like, just gonna run towards and try to stab it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, I'm not rolling that dice anymore because you're terrible. Nope, that was even worse. I missed that one. It was a
Oof.
2.
Oh, dude,
Two
that
plus
sucks.
whatever the dagger is.
Um, so it feels like you're not gonna hit it, but you do. It's very weird. Like you reach out with what your consciousness is right now with the dagger and try to plunge it into the heart of the thing, and it glances off. But in this, the knife sticks, and it rears up on its kind of hind legs, and you're pulled along with it. This thing is like lifts you up into the air.
100 pounds.
Yeah. It's
God
also it is huge as well. I want to illustrate that it is
damn.
very
Okay.
big. It's
Okay.
basically
Okay.
at your height. Maybe just a little
That's
bit smaller than you actually, probably around 9 feet and
that's
not 9 foot
terrifying.
5.
I'm a 2.
Oh, 9 foot 2. Yes, yes. Um, and as it
I
does
put two and a
this,
half.
9 foot 2.5. Yeah.
The
As
half
it
counts.
does this, it starts to try to breathe fire on you again as it's kind of reached out, but it looks like it catches itself on fire as well. And it looks like it's not very. It almost behaves like it's a baby. It behaves like it doesn't know what it's doing. It breathes fire just kind of all around itself. But go ahead and make another dex save.
It's gonna be a fix.
All right,
I'm dead.
that's not gonna do it. So you take would be 6 points of damage.
Cool.
All right, your turn. You're kind of just hanging on to this dagger, and you basically the reason you couldn't dodge very well is you just kind of like tried to bob and weave out of the way while still holding on to
Like,
the dagger that's in it. You're like, wiggle back and forth.
um, as it like moves really fast one way,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let go and try to get like shot away from it.
Okay.
And
Roll an acrobatics check.
oh shit. Okay. 21.
21. Yeah. Yeah. So you just kind of launch off of this thing, and you land on your back for a second, but you manage to kind of turn it into a roll, like a backwards roll. It's actually really
Sick.
pretty sweet. And you end
I
up
get up. I'm
just
like,
you end up
no
kind
one
of
saw that. Fuck.
like kneeling, and you get up kind of quickly. And this thing's kind of still writhing around. It's got its breath weapon has been used on itself. It does not look too happy about that.
How far am I from it?
I'd say you're about 10 feet at the moment.
I turn around and run.
Okay. You run. And as you run, you hear this awful, like, you hear it clicking behind you. You hear it, like, galloping, but like an insect galloping. And I know no one in real life has ever heard that noise. So that's
Oh, but I
awful.
hate it.
You hear this just giant insect just booking it past you. And in the distance, you can see that in your haste, you had actually started to run towards Lynn. And
That's
as the thing gets closer to Lynn, it looks like it's starting to shy away. It doesn't look like it wants to enter Lynn. And as you reach these city limits, it starts running from you again. And you basically just kind of collapse on this kind of looks like the docks, and you're just kind of sitting there trying to not like bleed out. You're trying to get your bandages. It's very frantic. And as you're doing that, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and this guy. You look up and you see this guy who you recognize now as Grant. He says, "Hey, are you all right?
No.
You don't look all right, man. What's wrong?"
Uh, currently bleeding out.
Yeah, okay. Look, I can see that. We don't really have a traditional doctor, but I can take you to my place, and uh, I think I can take care of you there. And he leads you through Lynn, past the docks, and kind of to this small little house that you're remembering his house now, and it's a good place. You remember that you liked it here, and he kind of nursed you back to health here. And shoot, I need to find the story real quick.
At this
Um,
point,
at this point, you are
does
into memory that you do remember,
I do
basically.
cool. Man, you knew exactly what I was about to
Yeah,
ask.
yeah.
Uh, you're so
um,
good at this.
Thanks. So at this point, you're playing through things that have already happened in your version, your reality, right? And at this point, you hear that little voice in your head say, I don't. I think this is all I can give for the moment. Uh, this is kind of it. I hope that was helpful at all." Uh, and you feel yourself. It's almost like you're being launched upwards into the sky in the dream. It's kind of weird. Just phase through the house, and you see yourself just lying there still. And then you hear the voice again as you're starting to wake up, and it says, "Yeah, I think this is gonna be the last you see of me for a while." And then it cuts out,
But
and you are just kind of laying in front of this empty bench, and you notice now that on the bench there's a considerable amount of snow. Like it's piled up on the chair in a way that it wouldn't have been possible to have someone sitting on there previous. Like there's no way that there was a person sitting on the bench seconds ago.
um, uh, I look. For, I grab a glaive. Like, oh, you're still there.
Yeah, and you don't
Um,
see anyone. Just you, bench, and the snow that's lightly falling now.
I
Oof.
like poked the bench.
Just a bench still.
Still okay, cool. I'm still a bench.
And you realize now that nothing's happening before you do it. You don't feel possessed by yourself anymore.
Like, that was. Are you in my head still?
You don't get any response.
Fuck.
And as you're sitting there, just kind of trying to figure out what the hell just happened, um, you hear this cracking noise coming from. It feels like your whole head. You feel like a split, like a fracture, and this incredible searing pain just gets through all of you. You feel it across your whole body, and you reach up and you grab your head and where the gem was, and there's this tiny hairline fracture in it.
Okay, that's not good. I'd just like start walking back towards the college.
All right. You start walking back, and it's difficult because you feel this thing. It cracked, and it did stop cracking. At least it stopped being. It didn't continue to fracture, but you still feel this like pain in your forehead.
God.
And you make it back, and you make it back towards the rest of the crew, and it looks like Peel and Narrett are both in stable condition, as well as everyone else. They look a lot better. Um, but they all kind of look surprised to see you back, and they do notice right away that crack in your gem, and it's they're surprised, and it doesn't look good, and they notice, they comment on you. You kind of look pale as well. I mean, as pale as a person covered with fur can look. You just look startled, I guess. It would be proper.
My hair
And
is slightly less brown.
yeah. And I think that's where we'll end it for today, because otherwise I have to include other people.
God, dude.